thank you, Fred, for having me here, for inviting me, and your Free Film Society for holding this discussion on 9/11, or looking back on 9/11, or whatever, memorial of 9/11. And it's a pleasure to be in the company of Brett and Brian, and to know that both of them are very intimidating panelists, so to be with them will be quite something. I thought that what I'll do in the time that I have is sort of, instead of getting into and talking about what the media on a 24/7 and on every hour is reporting on the Middle East and the Muslim world, and especially in this week of 9/11, and zooming in and talking about any one of those issues that's all over there on, ISIS, President Obama's response, what we Canadians are going to do, the beheading last evening of another Westerner, in this case the British aid worker. I will sort of step back, zoom out, and try to share with you my perspective, a wide-angle perspective of this region of the Muslim world since 9/11, but take you back, again, in my perspective, what is this all about? What is this mayhem all about? Can we make sense of it in some logical, coherent fashion, instead of being all over the map with these pieces of news, whether it's Boko Haram, whether it is Taliban, whether it is Imran Khan and Tahir al-Qadri, by the way, this imam who has Canadian papers and is right now in Islamabad leading a demonstration to upturn an elected government in Pakistan, and so on and so forth. How do we make sense of all of this? Or is it simply that Muslim, 1.7 billion of us, I'm a Muslim, we have all basically gone crazy, and we are crazy people, and the world doesn't know how to deal with us, and we don't know how to deal with ourselves, and we have become a huge nuisance, and maybe if we could be beamed out of this planet, we would solve the problem. But I think there is a coherent way to understand this issue. It is not about apologetics, it is about trying to make sense of both contemporary politics placed within the larger context of history. This summer was the 100th anniversary commemorating the beginning of the Great War. And I would suggest, and I don't think this is any discovery, that we are still living the effects, intended or unintended, of the Great War, and then soon after that, the encore of that war, 1939-1945, we're living it, and that within the greater Middle East and the Muslim world, what we're witnessing is the most vivid effects of that war that had impact on the world of Islam. At the end of that great war, among the many empires that collapsed, disintegrated and vanished, one of them was the Ottoman Empire. And whatever the demerits of the Ottoman Empire, time does not allow me to get into any of that. The point is that the disintegration of the Ottoman Empire opened up a whole new historical situation for the Muslim world, both in the Middle East and beyond. Because with the disintegration of the Ottoman Empire, soon after that came the abolishment of the institution of the Caliphate, this 1,300-year-old institute that could be traced back to the founding years of Islam, soon after the death of the Prophet, was brought to an ignominious end. And I submit to you that from that moment till now, right now at this moment in time, and We don't know how long this will go on, but it is going to go on for many, many more decades. There's one fundamental issue, the thread that runs through.